All success in life revolves around attraction, right? I mean, when you think about attraction, everything in business and in life revolves around attraction. People are drawn to people who attract them, right, and repel those who oppose them. Business is all about attraction. Businesses attract and repel customers, employees, vendors, and partners, right? We're attracted to those people that are most like us in our relationships. We attract and repel those with similar character, culture, and personalities. And so, really, I want to talk about magnetic leadership today, and it's really about attraction and repulsion. And contrary to popular belief, or at least cultural belief, both of these are important: attraction and repulsion. Okay, some would have you believe that repulsion or being repelled against something is something that shouldn't exist. I remember my grandmother told me years ago when I said the word hate, or any of my cousins would say the word hate, my grandma would say, "Don't ever say hate. Don't ever say hate. You should never hate." And the truth is there is a place for hate. We should hate evil. We should hate the things that harm people and are destructive. And there's stuff we should love too. These are the different polarities that we're going to talk about a little bit. People are like magnets, and we're going to explore this. It might be a little bit of a goofy topic, but bear with me. But I think you'll see that there's some insight here to be learned. Magnetism. Most of you already know from school. Y'all remember playing with magnets in school, where they'd have these two magnets and have these little metal shavings or paper clips or something. Do they still do that in school? I don't even know if they do that. But back when I was a kid, when they were teaching us about polarity and teaching us about magnetism, we get to play these magnets, and that was a lot of fun. Well, magnetism is a much bigger thing than that. It really is. Magnetism is in our whole universe, and particularly in our world. Magnetism is in our Earth. We have two poles, the North Pole and South Pole. Gravity comes from this magnetic pole as well. And so the way it works is that there's a draw of electron particles going through the middle of the Earth, and then they come out and they kind of surround themselves, come back to the North Pole. And that's a polarity. There's a force that does that, and it goes all the way around the Earth. But that's how it works. It works up through the core and then out and around and back down. All magnets align with the North Pole. I don't know if you knew that, but that's what a compass is. When you are out in the middle of nowhere and you have a compass, it's really just a magnet that points towards north, and that way you can find your way. Since all magnets point that way, point north, there must be something similar between a magnet and the Earth, and that is the polarity. It's there's a charge. There's a positive charge on the North Pole, and there's a negative charge on the South Pole. And so magnets will always be aligned with that because of the bigger force. They will always be aligned with that unless there's some other force causing them not to be. Like, you can take a magnet and you can turn it around and force it the north to point south if you'd like to. And if there's enough resistance to hold it in place, it'll stay that way, or sideways, or they can point any direction, but the natural pull is to be pulled towards north. Another term, alignment. So when I talk about alignment here, alignment would be when a magnet is aligned with the North Pole. All right. If it's aligned with the South Pole, meaning the north side of the magnet is pointing to the South Pole, it has an oppositional alignment. Okay. An oppositional alignment. If it's just kind of pointed some other direction, so it's not really lined up with your true north, so the north end of the magnet isn't coordinated with the North Pole, then it's kind of a non-alignment or a neutral. Maybe there's enough resistance there to keep it from pointing where it's meant to be pointed. And so, just so you know, that's what I'm going to refer to as alignment. When you have two magnets and you connect them up, the north end is not attracted to the north end. The north end of one magnet is attracted to the south end of another magnet. And when you have that, you have an attraction. So these two magnets will actually stick together because the north end has something that the south end is lacking. It's drawn together. Okay. Repulsion is a little bit different. Repulsion is when you line up the south magnet with the south side of a magnet, you point those together, and there's a pushing away of, or a repulsion, because they're the same. They're the same. They don't have a difference of potential that attracts them. And by the same token, if you align the north end with the north end, you're going to get a repulsion too. So you're going to get attraction and repulsion depending on which direction each of these magnets are going to be headed towards in relation to each other. And that's important, because we're going to talk about how that relates to people. Business magnetic alignment would be when leadership and the team and the organization are all in alignment they're all in alignment pointing north towards the same goals. So we don't have neutral alignment, we don't have oppositional alignment, we just have positive alignment lined up. And this is tricky and hard to get to. This is not an easy place to get to, but just so you know, this is the big picture. This is what we want. When we are successful and the leaders and the team and the organization are all in the same line, we all win. We all experience better results together. Whenever the leader is pointing off in the wrong direction, well, then the team's going to point off in the wrong direction. And if the team's going to point in the wrong direction, of course, the whole organization is pointed in the wrong direction. We're not going to have success. So it all starts kind of internal from the leadership, trickles down through the team and the organization. So how do we, get alignment and attraction? That's really the key. So as we talk about this, we're looking at getting alignment and attraction both. And there's certainly ways to go about it so that we don't get that. And so we'll explore all of that.